Good morning all. Today we are going to discuss about the topic computational chemistry. Before going to this topic, we have to know the general idea about quantum mechanics. In previous classes, we studied about quantum mechanics. First, we studied about the postulates of quantum mechanics. There are 5 postulates: state function postulate, operation postulate, eigenvalue postulate, average value postulates, and time-dependent Schrodinger equation. Then we studied about the applications of quantum mechanics in particle in 1D box, particle in 3D box. These two systems are examples for translation motion. Then example for vibration motion is simple harmonic oscillator. Then for rotational motion, particle on a ring and particle on a sphere. Then we studied about hydrogen atom or hydrogen-like atom, one electron system. When we consider more than one electron, we can't direct apply the Schrodinger equation. So we use two approximation method in that cases, variation method and perturbation method. Then when we consider about the Pauli's antisymmetry principle for calculating the electron distribution, we use Slater determinant. But when we consider heavy atom, large number of electrons, we can't calculate it manually. So we have to use the computers to calculate this determinant. In that case, we incorporate our theoretical chemistry principle into a computer program. Then we calculate this Slater determinants. That is the importance of computational chemistry. So what is computational chemistry? Computational chemistry uses the result of theoretical chemistry. Then it is incorporated into a computer program. Then we calculate the properties of a molecule or the structure of a molecule. In computational chemistry, we use the result of theoretical chemistry that is incorporated into a efficient computer program to calculate structure and properties of a molecule. Then, what are the properties we can calculate using this computational program? We can calculate structure, energy, charge distribution, vibrational frequency. Then we have also calculate reactivity, spectroscopic quantities. Then, computational chemistry is divided into two: molecular mechanics and electronic structure method. Then what is molecular mechanics? In molecular mechanics, we use the laws of classical mechanics. But in electronic structure method, we use the laws of quantum mechanics. That is the difference between molecular mechanics and electronic structure method. In molecular mechanics, we use the laws of classical mechanics. In electronic structure method, we use the laws of quantum mechanics. In molecular mechanics programs based on classical mechanics, in molecular mechanics, we calculate force field. For the calculation of force field, we treat atom as a sphere and bonds as spring. Electrons are ignored. That is very important point. To calculate the force field, we treat atom as sphere, bonds as spring, and electrons are ignored. Then we assume that the total potential energy of the molecule is the sum of all energies, that is attractive and repulsive forces between atoms in structure. So we consider all energies in calculating force field. The force field refers to calculate the interactions and energies between different atoms. That is the definition for a force field. Force field is calculate the interactions and energies between different atoms. In force field calculation, we ignore the electronic distribution. That is an important point. Then, next point is components of force field. There are three components of force field. First one is a set of equation defining how the potential energy of a molecule varies with location of its component atom. We can explain this very easily using an example. When we consider methane molecule, CH4, we know that its geometry is tetrahedral. That is, each hydrogen is located in different position. According to that position, each hydrogen have different potential energy. So, a set of equation defining this potential energy of a molecule varies with location of its component atom. That is the first component of force field. Then, second component is a series of atom type defining the characteristics of an element within a specific chemical context. When we consider carbonyl molecule and methane, the chemical environment of carbon is different in these two type molecule. When we consider a ketone, carbon is double bonded to oxygen atom and to alkyl group. So the chemical environment of carbon is different when compared to a methane molecule. In methane molecule, carbon is bonded to 4 hydrogen. So the chemical environment that we use the same carbon atom, but the chemical environment of carbon is different in 2 molecules. So a series of that atom type defining the characteristics of an element within a specific chemical context. That is the second component of force field. Then third component of force field is one or more parameters set that fit the equation and atom type to experimental data. There are at least one or more than one parameter set that fit the equation and atom type to a experimental data. That is the components of force field. Then second type is electronic structure method. What is electronic structure method? In electronic structure method, we use the laws of quantum mechanics. The electronic structure method is divided into two: ab initio method and semi-empirical method. Now we are going to compare the ab initio method and semi-empirical method. What is ab initio method? The ab initio is a Latin word. It means is beginning. In ab initio method, it is directly derived from theoretical principle. But in case of semi-empirical method, we use an approximate form of Schrödinger equation. In ab initio method, we directly use the theoretical principle, but in case of semi-empirical method, we use approximate form of Schrödinger equation. Then, in ab initio method, we consider all the electrons in a system. But in case of semi-empirical method, we consider only valence electron. Third difference is, in ab initio method, we does not use any experimental data. The computations are only based on quantum mechanics. But in case of semi-empirical method, we use experimental data to parameterize the equation. That are the main difference between ab initio method and semi-empirical method. In ab initio method, we use exact Schrödinger equation. But in case of semi-empirical method, we use approximate form of Schrödinger equation. In ab initio method, we consider all the electron. But in case of semi-empirical method, we consider only valence electron. In ab initio method, we does not use experimental data, but in case of semi-empirical method, we use experimental data. Then, the examples for ab initio method is Hartree-Fock method, HF method, and semi-empirical method is Huckel molecular orbital treatment. When we compare this ab initio method with a semi-empirical method, ab initio method is more accurate, but it is very slow. So, semi-empirical method is very fast method. That is the advantage of semi-empirical method, but semi-empirical method is less accurate than ab initio method, but also it is much faster than ab initio method.